10 weirdest foods from around the world. What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten? For me, it was a plate of deep-fried ants, served during the Songkran festival in Chiang Mai, Thailand. It was a stinking hot day. We'd been running around for hours in what felt like a citywide water fight, and after a while we headed to a restaurant for some much-needed fuel. Read more about amazing experiences. The ants came as an appetizer, washed down with plenty of chong. I didn't think about it too much at the time. I was so hungry I was just throwing down these golden, crispy little things by the handful, but thinking back, yeah, that was kind of strange. Still, they do say that before long insects could be a staple part of Western diets, so better get used to the idea. Here's 10 more unusual foods. Have you ever tried any of these? 1. Balut. Balut is a duck embryo, aged about 2 to 3 weeks. It's boiled and eaten in the shell, and you can taste the crunch of tiny beak and feet. No feathers yet though, thankfully. The thought of this one actually makes me physically ill, but it's a delicacy in countries such as Laos and Cambodia, and in the Philippines where some street food vendors actually serve it raw. 2. Rocky Mountain oysters. Oysters. In the mountains. Doesn't sound right, does it? That's because Rocky Mountain oysters aren't actually oysters. They're deep-fried bull testicles, a favorite among cowboys and often served at rodeo events in the USA. You're going to need a lot of beer to wash the taste of that out of your mouth. 3. Durian. This fruit is common throughout Southeast Asia. It's very divisive. Some people, mostly the locals, find it delicious, but others think it smells like raw sewage. Its odor is in fact so powerful that in some places you're banned from taking it on public transport or into hotels. It's said to have amazing health benefits, but experts advise that eating it while drinking beer is a seriously bad idea, as it can lead to severe bloating and discomfort. You have been warned. 4. Jellied moose nose. Residents of Alaska and Canada's northernmost regions are no strangers to moose meat. In such climes, moose meat is eaten in the form of steaks, sausages, and even pizza topping. One moose dish, however, remains a rare delicacy: jellied moose nose. Jellied moose nose is similar to European head cheese, trapping cuts of moose nose within a gelatinized broth. The dish was even mentioned in the Northern Cookbook, a 1967 publication by the Canadian government that offered recipes and cooking advice for wilderness wives living in the backwoods of the far north. 5. Shirako. Shirako, sometimes spelled Shiraku, is perhaps Japan's weirdest dish. While this white paste may look like mayonnaise, it's actually fish semen. Served on top of rice, fried in tempura batter, or even on top of custard, this dish is revered for its rich, velvety texture and mild sea-like taste. Is Shirako really fish sperm? Yes. It's not even that weird, really. We eat roe, which is fish eggs, so why not fish semen? While Shirako is a bit more difficult to harvest, it's not really any more disgusting than a number of foods I could name. Shirako's taste and texture are quite pleasant, meaning that many people who would otherwise be grossed out find it somewhat enjoyable. 6. Sheep brains. Not so long ago, eating sheep brains was relatively common in the UK, as it was cheap and brought some nutritional benefit. After the panic over mad cow disease though, it has vanished from diets. But you can still eat the brains of sheep, as well as pigs, cows, horses, goats and chickens, in countries such as Turkey, China, India and Bangladesh. It's considered quite a delicacy in some parts. 7. Fugu. Fugu, Japanese for pufferfish, is quite well known, because of its deadly reputation. Parts of the fish, particularly the liver, are toxic, so great care is needed during preparation. Every year dozens of people are hospitalized, and several die, after making an error. One of its most famous victims of course was Homer Simpson, who spent an entire night once thinking he'd been poisoned. 8. Fried tarantulas. Most people would, at the first mention of a tarantula on the table, flee a restaurant in an act of self-preservation. as a bite from one of these furry eight-legged critters can cause severe health problems. That's not the case in Cambodia, however, where they are often fried, with a chili and lime dressing. Most creepy of all, when served on the plate, there they are, stood crouched on all 8 legs, as if about to pounce. Yep. 9. Sannakji. This Korean delicacy is another Asian food that present considerable danger to anyone that eats it, not from poison though, but from choking. Sannakji is live octopus. That's live octopus. They chop it up, and while the tentacles are still moving, you scarf it down. 10. Tong Dan. We have a winner. The weirdest food, certainly that I can think of, is Tong Dan, a Chinese delicacy usually found only in the province of Dongyang, in the east of the country. These are boiled chicken eggs. What's strange about that? It's what they're boiled in. Not water, but the urine of prepubescent virgin boys. Street vendors pay the boys to take a whiz in a bucket, then boil the eggs all day in the liquid, before serving. And they don't even come with soldiers.